Removing the catalytic converter from a Harley exhaust is one of those tempting upgrades that almost every rider thinks about at some point. The promise is simple: more power, extra rumble, and maybe dropping a few pounds off the bike. But it's not a magic pill. Most riders start thinking about this because of the heat. The catalytic converter acts like a furnace under your leg, especially when stuck in Portland traffic for half an hour. It's kind of wild that this little chunk of metal can easily push exhaust temps up by 200 degrees Fahrenheit or more right at your calf. So how do you get this hot potato off your bike? First up, you need the right tools. You'll want a socket set, long extension bars, a torque wrench, and maybe a reciprocating saw if you're dealing with a stubborn setup. Trust me, a cheap saw can save you an hour. Pro tip, borrow one if you can. Step 1 is to get the bike up safely. I'm talking a decent lift, not a milk crate. It's tempting to wing it, but a stable bike is the difference between a smooth install and an embarrassing crash on your garage floor. Harley pipes are heavier than you expect. Before you touch a bolt, soak everything with penetrating oil. The exhaust clamps and bolts are infamous for seizing up after just one Portland rainy season, so let the oil sit for at least 30 minutes. More riders snap fasteners than successfully bust them loose first try. Now, start unbolting from the head down. Don't try to force things. There's a knack to wiggling the pipes free without trashing the threads or fenders. Set aside every washer and bracket carefully, because Harley hardware always seems to vanish unless you're paying close attention. Once the pipes are off, the real fun begins, getting the catalytic converter out. On most new Harleys, it's either welded into the head pipe or pressed in super tight. If you're lucky, a solid hit with a rubber mallet and a metal punch will break it loose. Here's the pain point that gets plenty of riders. If the cat is welded in, you basically have two choices: cut it out and re-weld, welding required, or buy an aftermarket header that's pre-decatted, which somehow always costs double what you expected. If you get the cat out, you'll notice the inside of the pipe gets a lot roomier. After reinstalling, you may feel a slight bump in throttle response, and some people report up to a 5% horsepower increase. It's not world-shattering, but if you're chasing that deep, throaty exhaust note, this is how you get there. Here's where it gets real. Removing the catalytic converter is illegal in most states and will fail any emissions check. In Portland, they're pretty chill about bikes, but you can always expect more attention from the EPA or an angry neighbor with a decibel reader. Your bike will run richer, maybe a bit rougher, and often needs a tune after the surgery. I strongly recommend a fuel management tune. Otherwise, you'll foul plugs and burn rich. That's a few $100 extra, but it can mean a cooler, more efficient ride. The takeaway? For some folks, ditching the cat is worth the hassle. You get a barkier exhaust and cooler rides, but you're trading away a scrap of legality and some headaches at inspection time. Just make sure you know what you're getting into before taking the saw to your Harley.